This is Shelley Craft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the Precious Metals Summit in Beaver Creek, Colorado, 2016. I have with me Mark Brennan, Sierra Metals. It's a publicly traded company. I'm going to give you two symbols. It's SMT on the TSX and SMT on the Lima Exchange. Welcome to SNNLive.
Thank you, Shelley.
It's good to have you. Let's get right into it. Let's start out with an overview on the company, and we'll go from there.
Sure. Sierra Metals is producing from three mines, two in Mexico and one in Peru. The lead mine is a Peruvian mine called the Yauricocha Mine, which produces at about 2,500 tons per day. We recently hit a record in Peru for the month of August production, where we were 2,700 tons a day. So we're making some very, very good progress there, Shelley.
So production is good. Have you kept your CapEx costs down?
We have indeed. We have a very rigorous chief financial officer who keeps us in control, and basically we've been very, very sensible with our capex. We brought our capex down almost 50%, 16 over 15, and we're still seeing growth in production and actually value added per ton of production. So it's very healthy.
So what caused the uptick in production? What is the company, besides CapEx and all that, what are you doing right? Are you needing to fill more orders? What am I hearing in that?
Well, basically what we've done is you have a new management team who's been in place for about 18 months. And basically what we did is we stripped the mine, particularly in Yauricocha in Peru, and we started from the basics. And basically that's enabled us to actually grow production with higher value production.
Now, how are your investors and your shareholders responding to this?
I think they're very pleased. You know, we have a very strong shareholder base with very loyal and very supportive shareholders, and basically, I think this is the best production they've seen, and I think they're very pleased.
Okay, let's get down to the resource. Tell us all about it.
Well, with regard to Peru, we're sitting on about 11.5 million tons, so it's about a 5-year mine life as it sits today on reserves. But basically, if we look at our measured and indicated resources, we probably have closer to 12-year mine life, and we've been very good at converting our measured indicated into reserves. So this mine for the last 60 years has had a 5-year mine life, and I think it'll continue for the next 70 years to have a 5-year mine life.
Now we're talking about gold, silver, and a whole host of other...
We are a polymetallic producer. We're producing silver, lead, zinc, copper, and gold. Basically, the 70% of our production is coming out of the base metal complex, and 30% is coming out of the precious metal complex.
Tell me a little bit more about Mexico.
Mexico, we have two mines, the Bolivar mine and the Cusi mine. The Bolivar mine is a copper deposit, which is growing very, very significantly as well. In the last 5 years, that's moved from about 100 tons per day of production up to about 3,000 tons. So it's going very, very well. We're focusing there on increasing grade, and really when the new management came in, the real center of attention was Peru. But now we're starting to get very aggressive to drive value out of our Mexican operations as well.
Most people would want to know about the safety of the districts. So politically, economically, behaviorally, you know how it is.
Yeah, in Mexico, for example, we have two mines. The Cusi mine, which is about an hour and a half by car outside of the town of the city of Chihuahua. It's very benign. It's a very agrarian community, and as a consequence, we've had no issues with any types of local communities. Likewise, at the Bolivar project, a little bit more remote, closer to Sinaloa, which obviously has more issues that one has to deal with. But I think we've handled our manager there has handled it very, very well. So those would be my greatest concerns. Politically, people have been mining in Mexico for hundreds of years. It's a very good jurisdiction to mine in. Likewise, Peru. Peru is a very strong environment in which to mine. We've had very little interference. If anything, we've had great support from the government. So it's all working out very, very well for us.
Well, I see that you're public in Peru. That's like, I don't often meet a company that's public on the Lima.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit unusual, but you know what? What's wonderful about it is it gives us a real presence in Peru, and people view us actually as a Peruvian company, and that has tremendous advantages, right?
So now, Are you part of that new management team?
I am the part of the management team, and I'm fortunate that I don't do the hard work. We have a lot of very talented guys who are there doing the work, and it's incorporated throughout the company. We've really restructured the whole company, and I've got a great team who've helped me with that.
What's your background?
My background is in finance. I was an investment banker in London, and then I moved into the mining business in Canada, in Toronto.
Now, tell me about the other guys on the team, because investors want to know about geos, they want to know about operators.
Sure. I guess in terms of the chief operating officer of the company is a fellow called Gordon Babcock. We brought him in the third quarter of last year to really initiate and drive this restructuring that we talked about, particularly in Peru. So he's a Canadian, but he moved down to Peru, is living in Lima full time, has brought his family down there, and he's a second generation miner with experience of Peru, and his father actually ran our mine when he was a young boy, so he knows it well, and he's done a phenomenal job. On the geological side, we're just introducing today a new geologist who we think is going to be able to drive the operations very substantially. The real growth that you're going to see at Sierra is going to come from our what we call brownfield exploration, and what that is exploration that you can bring into production within 6 to 12 months. So it's not regional exploration, it's production very, very close to infrastructure where we are today.
It seems to me like you're mostly self-financed. Am I correct?
We have $25 million in the bank. We have $40 million of liquidity, so we're not in any need of capital. And basically, we have enough capital to achieve the growth that we need. We're going to focus on internal growth, on organic growth. It's where we find the cheapest tonnage. We had a very, very significant discovery recently in Yauricocha. It's a phenomenal discovery, which I think will be transformational for the company, and I think it could be one of the more significant discoveries in Peru. And basically what we're looking at there is that cost us $600,000 to actually discover. So we're not going to get lucky all the time like this, but it's been that's the way we want to go.
Now, what do you think of the market, the future for the company over the course of the next, let's say, 18 months? I know guys have challenges they think about, and they also have visions of what they'd like to see happen in the company. So just tell us what you can, so to speak, without giving too specific financial guidance.
Sure. I mean, I think we've spent the last 9 to 12 months on restructuring, on really preparing ourselves to grow. And we've showed, we were here last year and we were talking to people about our objectives, and we've met our objectives, and I think we've exceeded our expectations. And frankly, I think the future is even more exciting than what we've seen in the last year. I think we have really strong growth ahead of us.
Now, for more information for our investor audience, let's give them your website to go to find out that information.
Sure. The website is www.sierrametals.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Brennan, Sierra Metals. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is SMT on the TSX and SMT on the Lima Exchange. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive, and we're coming to you live from the Precious Metals Summit in Beaver Creek, Colorado, 2016. I want to thank you for coming on to SNNLive.
Thank you so much for your time, Shelley. Really appreciate it.
You're quite welcome.
Thank you.